What's going on, people? What's the deal,
What-
man?
What's up? What's good? Good morning, y'all. We're about to go ahead and hit off another fire episode. Y'all already know what time it is. It's 10 a.m. Good morning, radio time. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and do the damn thing.
Let's get this
Here
thing
we go.
started, man.
Yes, sir. Guy, Chris, protect the shield. Good morning, brother. How you doing? My guy, Lunatic Raider, Raider Allegiance. What is good?
We on? Hey!
We are. None other than that, Mr. Chris, bringing none other than our guy, Joe Morley, bring out none other than the Violator, Brain Marbury, bring out none other than the notorious Mitchell Grant.
Yes, sir. What's going on with the people, man? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, salute. Appreciate you guys tapping in and pulling up on this beautiful Saturday morning. I hope it's beautiful where you guys are at. Salute.
It's looking
to
good over here,
everyone.
finally, man. It's not
There
hot
you
as
go.
hell
There you
for me.
go. Yeah, it's not
hell
hot
for me.
either here. I'm pretty sure there's a clear sky. I haven't gone outside yet, but it looks good over here so far. Good temperature, so that's what's up. Salute to everyone. Good morning. Appreciate everyone tapping in. Welcome to Good Morning Raiders. We are your hosts. I'm Jay Raider. This is the Raider Rundown. We're back in full effect as usual, bringing you guys another fire episode for y'all. Real quick, before we go ahead and start kicking this thing off, make sure you guys, if you guys haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe button on both channels, especially if you're feeling what you're hearing. We bring fire guests every damn weekend, every damn Saturday. Make sure you guys don't sleep on it. Hit that subscribe button. Help you guys out. We're trying to go ahead and grow our channels. Appreciate everyone pulling up. If you guys are on X, make sure you guys go ahead and jump over to YouTube and smash that subscribe button on both of the channel. Before we go ahead and start getting into it, obviously we got to go ahead and acknowledge our people already in the building. Really quick, salute to my guy Raider Paul in the building with the
Raiders.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fire.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Our guy Raiders Resistance in the building. Yes, sir. We have
Chris.
arrived. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up, tapping
What's
in.
going on with you?
Daddy in the building. Salute, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. Dre.
What's going
in the
on, Dre?
building.
What up, Taddy?
Salute. I got Jesus in the building. Happy Saturday. Appreciate you.
Happy Saturday,
Pulling
buddy.
up.
All right, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Our guests in the
Yes,
building.
sir.
You already know we're gonna pull
Let's
them
see who
on.
it
Just
is.
a bit. Big SA Dog in the building. Salute, brother.
What's going on with you, bro? Appreciate you for tapping in.
Owls Ghost is in the building. All right.
What's going on, bro?
Watch us, man. It was a good show. Just another DJ, our guy.
My dog. What's going
Another
on,
real
bro?
one. Yes, sir. Appreciate you pulling up. Salute. Big one, they've 83. Salute. Appreciate you pulling up. He said, happy as ever. This morning, my son's high school just had a great Friday. Swept the team. They haven't beaten over in 10 plus years. Varsity debut. Now it's Raiders' turn. There you go. That's what's up.
Talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
My guy. Salute to you. Our guy, Daniel Kim, in the building. Appreciate you pulling up and tapping in with us on this beautiful Saturday morning. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and bring in the man of the hour, our guest for today. You guys know him from X and also on his show, Raiders Fan Radio. The man with the beard. You already know what time it is. I got him laughing. There you go. Let me go ahead and bring out none other than Murf in the building.
What's going on, man?
What's going on? Hey, glad to be here, man. Thank you guys for having me on the show this morning. And I know my name is Murf, and I go by Murf, but I'm an old school guy. I'm a fan of Run DMC, so call me Daryl for the show. That way we could be Daryl, Run, and Jay.
I love it. Okay. We can definitely do that.
All right.
I was excited for this one, man. You know, like you said before the show, man, it's been a long time. I know we did a show previously before, man, but I know I was excited to go ahead and chop it up again and just get to talking about the season with you.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I look forward to it, guys. And I had a good time last time I joined you. And so when Jay reached out, I was glad to be here and do this. As you know, Saturday mornings aren't we're a late night show, not an early morning show. So it's like I get bright eyed and bushy tailed and a cup of coffee. And so this is kind of fun, man. Look forward to.
I know a little bit of change of pace. Same thing.
There you go.
Coffee going or whatever gets your mind right. It's all good. That's good with me. You know what time it is.
Because normally, like I said, we do it at night. And usually we're in our sorrows on Wednesday nights, after Monday or Sunday or whatever it is. So it's like, man, but now look, it's Saturday morning. It's a bright outlook. You guys talk about how pretty it is outside.
Exactly.
It's in the air. It's football season. We got college football on today. Like it's get the juices flowing and get excited about our Raiders. And hopefully we'll have a comeback here when we play at Washington this weekend.
There you go.
Good vibes, good juju out into our Raider universe, and hopefully we get the dub tomorrow for sure. But before we go into that, I'm gonna have to just kind of bring us down a little bit to reality and kind of put a little retrospect and kind of talk about what happened on Monday, because I mean y'all saw it, but I lived it, and it kind of stung a lot. It stung a lot. Right. I'm gonna just say the least. But let's go ahead and kind of recap Monday's game. The Raiders lose to the Chargers 2019. Raiders fall to 1-1 for the season. Geno Smith, not the best performance, terrible performance. 24 out of 43, 180 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. The offense continues to be stagnant. Gentlemen, I want to go ahead and kind of get your thoughts on those 3 things, just kind of right off the bat, because they kind of go hand in hand, obviously. What are your thoughts with Geno's performance, what we saw out there? I know what I saw out there. It was not pretty. The offense struggled. I think this is probably an understatement, but I'm going to start with Murphy. What are your thoughts from that Monday game? I'm sorry to go ahead and kind of rehash the past, but I want to go ahead and get your opinion on that.
Yeah, man, it was rough. I mean, anybody that watched that game and, whether you were there in person like you were or the rest of us watching Monday Night Football, it was a tough watch. We saw what the Raiders did against the Patriots the week prior, where they had a rough end of the first half and the middle part of the first half as well, but then, rebounded in the second half. And we saw a lot of creativity in play calling. We saw a lot of good execution. We saw, Geno taking care of the ball. Like it was a good looking second half. That second half never came, from this game. And so, you mentioned Geno and they're struggling in those stats, when we look at him throwing under 10 yards, he was 24 of 29. When we look at him throwing over 10 yards, he was 0 for 12 with those 3 picks. So, it was in the picks that he was throwing, they were like YOLO balls, man. It was like shit you do on Madden when you're down 14 or whatever with a minute left, just hucking it down there to see what happens. Like, Jacoby's down there somewhere. Let me just unleash this thing into the end zone. And so it was just out of character for him. I did, going into this season, anybody that's followed his career any bit, even when he really turned it around and became such a good comeback player, he still has games like this. He'll have games where you're looking at it, you're going like, what? Like, where did that come from? And he'll have those games where there was 3 picks. So I had my mind already around that we were going to see 1 or 2 of those games this year. I just didn't expect it under the bright lights of Monday Night Football with first place on the line. You know what I mean? The home opener, like everything that was riding on this game, just didn't expect to see it this early. And hopefully he got it out of his system. Hopefully this is, and we'll probably see another one. There'll probably be one more like this, but let's hope that like they're at a minimum, these games are don't flash like that for him. And then I'm sure we'll talk about Ashton Genty and the offensive line and all the rest of the stuff, but I'll shut up because if you let me go, especially after I've had coffee, it'll be a long show, fellas.
No. We got a time limit today, so no worries for sure. Bro, what are your thoughts, bro, from what you saw on your end on Monday?
Hey, Murph, you talk as long as you want, man. These people be watching. They see me all week, man. They came for you.
They come
for me, man. Honestly, I mean, what Murph is saying is true. Anybody that has watched Geno, before, you kind of know he has some throws where you kind of be like, well, what the fuck are we doing? You know what I mean? Like he just does that sometimes. And even I know, probably all of us here saw that article that was written about Geno right before the game and about his mindset and all that. And immediately when I read that, I'm like, oh yeah, bro, he trying to chuck this mother all around the yard. I already know because he has a feel. This is my team. I still have that I'm gonna show you attitude. You know what I mean? Which is cool. But Murph pointed it out beautifully. The numbers underneath dictated we need to go underneath. That just is what it is, bro. Like, and you can just see we're forcing these throws downfield. Now, the one that ended the game against the Patriots, if you want to be aggressive, that's a 50-50 bang play. I have no problem with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. You do what you do. I like that. But first quarter, you know what I mean? Like first half, we don't need them type of throws, dog. Like I've been saying it all week. He came over here saying he wanted to run the table, but we don't have to crap out at the table immediately. Sometimes it's all right, dog, to just take your winnings and earnings and just go home. So at this point right now, I think that's what he'll probably learn that this week. He'll probably be smarter with the football. In his career, after games like this, he's typically way better the game after. You know what I mean? So there's that. But the sad reality, fellas, Geno is, I hate to say it, but he is 3-6 in his primetime games in his career. So typically he's not really that good under the bright lights anyway. Which is something that we got to watch for because that definitely can't be a thing. You know what I mean? If we're trying to go to the playoffs and all that extra, but he'll bounce back. Chip will understand because this is the thing. I still think we have a good play caller. I'm not sitting here. Oh, we have who we had last year. I forgot his name. Whatever, Luke Getsy. Chip is still a good play caller, so I think he'll get it figured out.
He can figure it out. Crazy thing though, I was doing the Wednesday show. There is some fans. I'm not saying a lot of fans, but you're getting your little fire chip here and there. It's a second game. It's a second game.
Yeah, come
on. It's a different level. It's a different level. He's not the same as Gatsby. It's just he hasn't figured it out. With Geno, it's talking about rehashing the past. Literally, that's kind of what he did. He was just trying to be that superhero all game long. He was trying to go ahead and hit the home run ball almost every snap. Don't know why. I mean, it was more than just with Geno. There's, you got to also kind of spread the blame all around. But as far as that pick on that open, literally, I think it was the first play. First play pick, and I'm like, oh, really? We limit them to 3. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let's get it out of the system. Let's kind of just go back to business, run our motion, start go ahead and building up this drive, and we marched down the field and tied it up. But it just kept happening over and over. He's just trying to hit the home run ball almost like every time, and we can't operate that way. And especially if the run game is lacking, which it did. And we're going to go ahead and talk about Jesse literally in just a second.
Oof.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And we felt to kind of like it was so wishy-washy where we had like 11 plays and then we ended up kicking a field goal. We got a penalty and then we had to bring it back and we're able to go ahead and just get a field goal out of it. So there's a lot of them to go around. Obviously the run game was not there, right? We did have a big issue with that, with Gentry only having 11 snaps, 43 yards. His yards per clip isn't. It doesn't even matter. The number looks good, but it doesn't matter if he's not out there getting more reps in. With the offense that is struggling to kind of right now redefine their identity, so to speak, and yet they're still having issues. We're still back to the same issue we had last year, which is crazy. We got a new coach, new offensive coordinator, essentially almost a new team, right? And we're still having the same problems. But I want to ask you guys this: do you guys think you guys think Genty is being underutilized currently in this offense, and the way they're actually running these schemes?
Now,
I'm gonna go ahead and go with you. Go ahead, Brent.
No. Start with Murf, man, because
Okay.
we're gonna be here all day. You start with me, so definitely start with Murf.
Yeah, so I definitely think there's a lot of improvement that could be had there in the play calling and the utilization of Ashton Genty. And I don't want to hear any more bullshitty statements like load management or like, oh, we got to save him for later in the year. Give me a break with that. Like, no, like that. Ashton Genty's career at Boise was defined by the more he runs it, the better he gets. He's like one of those kind of guys. I'm not comparing the players, but like Derrick Henry is like that. He will wear you down over time. He gets better as the game goes on, unless he's playing against the Bills and fumbles late in the game and then it costs him. But outside of that, but that's Ashton Genty's, that's his calling card. And so, and he wants the ball. So that said, when we consider that out of 54 running backs in the NFL, he is number 54 in average yards before contact. It is negative 0.1 yards before he gets hit. That's his average. So the Raiders clearly are not doing a good enough job up front. There was a great breakdown. I forget the name of the guy that I was watching his. I'm not a big tape guy, film guy. I depend on people with better brains than me to do that. But I love to see somebody really good interpret film and explain things. And there was a one that was out this morning, and I'll find it, and so way we can shout the guy out because it's fantastic. But he breaks down and basically what Dylan Parham's doing, what Michael Mayer's doing, even what Brock Bowers is, and not even what they are, but what they aren't doing, and what that's doing to Ashton Genty in the run game. So with Chip being cognizant of that, is he going like, well, we can't run the ball effectively. I can't get this guy beat up behind the line of scrimmage every single play. So then what do you do? Well, then, here I'm going thinking like, okay, well then Chip, you're a brilliant offensive mind. We've seen you innovate time and time again when it comes to running offenses. So let's figure out a way to get him the ball in space. Now, I'm not a huge fan of plays that develop behind the line of scrimmage. I'm not a huge fan of toss plays, making your running back run 8 yards to get 1 yard. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff, or bubble screens and that. But there's something they could be doing to get him in space, because clearly when you get him one-on-one with a safety or any other defensive back, that's a battle he can win. Now, if he's getting contacted by linebackers and by defensive linemen at the line of scrimmage, that's a hell of a lot tougher for him. But you get him singled up on a DB, that guy's face is going into the turf and Ashton taking off. Like, so there are things that Chip could be doing better with Ashton Genty. And then the last thing I'll say too, and I got to bring it up because my guy Ron had been calling about this since before the draft, was the pass protection concerns. And while I thought that it was very valid when he brought that up, and I felt like and I get it, man. You can't have your guy in on third down if he can't pass pro. It's just not going to happen. But that said, when you start watching the way that the offensive line is unfolding in front of him, when you got Dylan Parham just kind of looking around for somebody to block, what the hell is Genty supposed to do? You know what I mean? So it's not entirely on him. Yes, he's got to be better, and there's no argument about that. Because again, especially on third down, you want him on the field because you want to be able to throw it to him because he's got great hands. But if he can't pick up a blitz, well, then you're screwed. So, but if the offensive line is not doing their job in front of him, well, then he doesn't know who the hell to block either. So It was really, really messy. Thank God Khalil Mack wasn't in that game. Otherwise, he might not have scored 9. I mean, that would have gotten real freaking ugly.
Facts.
But anyways, yeah. So there's a lot of improvement there, but they're smart guys. They're great head coaches. This is not the offensive coordinators and the head coaches that we've been accustomed to dealing with over the past few years. Like, we've got, good minds in the building, and I think they're going to get it figured out. We got to hope for it.
Yeah. Everything you said, I agree 1,000%. I've been spreading this all week, and I truly believe this. Everything that Murf said is correct, and I truly believe what I'm about to say too. I think the coaches and all of them have finally understood, this offensive line is dog water. It's terrible. Mm-hmm. We can't, as much as we want him to have 20 plus carries, we about to give him the Josh Jacobs method, which is we about to kill this man in 2 years. With the way this offensive line looks, dog, he is going to get his body hurt, right? Let's just be real with it. And the way he runs, right? Look at the way he runs. 20 plus carries of that, dog. We need the offensive line to do its job. You feel? Because he's such a physical runner, dog. And people, I think, the casual fan will be like, man, just give him to 25 plus times. Nothing's gonna happen, dog. The man's shoulder will fall off by week 9 if we continue this. If we continue what we're doing, and I really truly think that they're doing this because they don't think that the offensive line is good enough to just be giving this man 20 plus carries if we only averaging 2 yards per.
So do you think that, sorry to interrupt you, but I got a question.
Go ahead.
So do you think that when Chip goes up there and he drops that whole load management thing, which I thought was so lame, it sounded like he was a politician or something. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what?
Yeah.
Who are you fooling? But is that his way of kind of covering for the O-line, going, well, we can't run him a bunch because he's going to get the shit kicked out of him. So instead, it comes out, the message is delivered as, quote, load management. Is that what you think?
I truly think that. And I think Pete, the way Pete's been talking too, how he's like, oh, we're just breaking them in and we're just doing all that. I don't really think it's for him. I think it's more the fact that the offensive line need to get broken in. Like that's the whole problem. And you just drafted this valuable commodity top 10. You feel what I'm saying? What does it look like if he's in the blue tent? Because this man has to make, 40 people miss in the backfield and do all this extra. Mm-hmm. But again, I don't know where you stood, Murph. I don't remember. I think you did want a Genty, but either way it goes, I was like, okay, if we take him, fine. But this was my whole problem from the jump. And I know Murph remembers this too. This is my whole problem from the jump. The offensive line was not ready for this type of talent. They just weren't. Yeah. As much as we wanted them to be, they're not. And then we basically did another Josh Jacobs. That's what we've done. Right. I mean, now we have a very talented running back that has to make all these moves in the backfield and do all these, and we ooh and ah, and then we look up, it's like, damn, that's only 4 yards. But it's like that he just made 6 people miss. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, that is what is scaring me right now with this. And realistically, it's like I understand, why people get frustrated. Now, I saw some people complaining about Zamir White. Oh, why is Zamir White in? Dog, Zamir had 2 carries when you look at it. He had 2 carries. Majority of the time, what is he doing, Jay, when he's in the game? He is blocking.
Blocking. That's it.
He is fucking blocking, bro. Right now, as much, and I don't necessarily think it's all on Genty, but Murph is correct, bro. A running back has 4 jobs. Right now, Genty is doing 2.5 of them right now. Right? A running back got to run the ball, which he's so, right? He got to catch the ball. He's doing that very well. Right? He's doing that very well. He's got a block, which he's not doing. No. And he can't fumble the ball. He has not fumbled the ball yet. He's catching the ball very well. He's running the ball so. That's 2.5 jobs, dog. He's as the 6th overall pick, he has got to get better in the pass game. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. He can get better with the old lineman. My problem with it, Murph, and I'll shut up, is the effort that I saw. The effort I saw was not acceptable. You feel what I'm saying? When I see you just throw that lazy shoulder and you're watching Geno run for his life, that's not good enough. I don't care what I don't care what it is. You feel what I'm saying? I've seen multiple running backs that have been drafted in your
just standing there.
You see what I'm saying? Multiple running backs that's drafted in his position or higher clean somebody's clock in that position.
Oh yeah.
You have to do that. You feel what I'm saying? There,
Yeah.
there is no because you're not. Let's just be real. You're not Barry Sanders, dog. You're not getting over here. You're not doing all this extra stuff. Your game dictates you to be a 3-down back. Correct?
Mhm.
You have to be a 3-down back. That is no ifs, ands, or buts. That's where my gripe is with him. Other than that, everything else that everybody else has said with the O-line and all that, it's 100% true. The O-line is dog water.
Yeah, for sure. And just kind of piggybacking from what you're saying, I mean, there was an instance where I literally saw him like stand there, like looking around, clueless, like, what am I supposed to do next? I'm like, bro, block. That's what you're supposed to do, And there's miscues between him and Geno. It wasn't his best game, though he had better yardage. But as far as fundamentally, there was holes that at least from my vantage point, that's what I saw. And blocking is number one. And this is the thing, because he's not blocking, you have to put Zamir White in. That telegraphs it to the defense. What are we doing? Like, how are you going to expect, really? Are we going to rely on Zamir White to really run the ball? I'm like, no, he's there to block. He's there to block 100%. So the defense knows automatically, okay, cool. I'm going to put maybe a linebacker on Zamir White because he's not a real threat, and then I'm just going to go on prevent, right? That's it. So that's the downfall of Genty not being able to go ahead and really be good at pass pro and the block. I'm going to go ahead and play really quick so that way everybody knows it's kind of what we're referring to about load management. And this is something that Chip Kelly talked about earlier this week. Let me go ahead and play it, and kind of preserving Ashton Genty.
And I think it was a 2-minute drill.
Mm-hmm.
Where, obviously flashed. Is he starting to? Is that role?
He is. And I think there's a role for all of those guys, and I think you have to look that it's not just a 1-game season; it's a 17-game season. So, your ability to keep everybody fresh. You're thinking short term because you're playing games, but you're also thinking long term. You have 3 running backs up on game day, and so you got to be able to kind of distribute that. I think we felt. As a staff, Ashton played 54 snaps the week before, and that was a little heavy, So how do we use that? And Dylan's done a great job. Dylan's great in protection. Dylan does a great job as a receiver coming out of the backfield. So he handled the 2-minute for us, and then Zeus handled some of the 3rd-down stuff for us. Just so you're trying to spread those carries out, or really not those carries out, because it doesn't matter if it's a run or a pass, but you're trying to spread out the amount of snaps in a game. If you have 3 running backs up and one guy's playing 55. And another guy's playing 3, and another guy's playing 2.
So that was Chip Kelly on talking about Genty's kind of preserving him and only working certain amount of snaps, reps per game. What are you guys' thoughts about? You guys kind of hit it a little bit what you guys were saying just before, but. With the whole offensive line, I mean, we know what it is. There's issues. Dylan Parham, probably one of the biggest issues on that offensive line. We had no JPJ. It was Alex Kappa playing in, and actually, pass protection was slightly better with him in. Go figure. But I don't know if it's directly him or what, but that's kind of what the stat that I saw. What are you guys' thoughts with the whole preserving Genty for a whole 17 games and not getting hurt and all that? Because right now I kind of have a poll out on my channel, and I asked everybody, do you agree that Genty should be preserved? Yes, he can't get hurt, or no, play his ass. 88% say play his ass. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about that?
That's why you draft him at number 6. That's why if this is going to be a running back by committee, well then why did we draft him?
Oh my God, Murph, thank you.
What's the point? If you're going to take a guy that high, then yeah, he should touch the ball more than anybody else on the football team that's not Geno Smith or Jordan Meredith. The end. This offense should run through him and Brock Bowers. The end. Yes. Because we could have done this exact same thing with Raheem Mostert, Dylan Laube, and freaking Zamir. And by the way, why the shit did we sign Raheem Mostert to begin with? Where is that guy? I know it's only been 2 games, but where is he? Like he doesn't even make. He's a healthy scratch every week. Would you sign him for? Like it's so goofy to me, man.
Man.
Like and I'm all about them taking Ashton Genty. I love Ashton Genty. I am stoked he's a Raider. He's the guy that I wanted from the second he started showing up, man, last year. I'm like, wow, this guy would be awesome, especially after we saw the way that our running game went last year. I'm like, here we go. This is a guy who's going to be a perfect fit. Well, but if you're not going to use him like that, well, then what was the point? Then you could have drafted a lineman instead. But like those are like, it's really confusing to me because you look at the way that this staff was built, they were all working collectively together. It's not like Chip didn't know what Spytek and Pete were thinking. Pete's a run heavy guy. That's what his teams are defined as. So it's just, again, it doesn't make sense to me. It feels like, you remember when like McDaniels would get up there and he'd start moving the goalpost. He would start be like, well, that's what, we're not really doing that. We're doing this thing over here. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. You said we were doing this for like 3 months and now all of a sudden it's changed. I'm like, so that's what I don't understand is that like the messaging is now changing and it's week 2, fellas. It's week 5. Sorry. Can I swear on this?
No.
Yeah.
It's fucking week 2, and we're already changing the narrative here. It's like, come on, man. Like it drives me. That stuff drives me nuts. Like it's it's like don't even talk about it then. Just don't even talk about it. Defer. Go like Bill Belichick and just defer the question. We're on to the Commanders. Just move on from it. Don't give us some elaborate bullshit tale because then as fans, we're looking at it, we're going, well, that's disingenuous. So then what is the plan? Because if there's no plan that we as fans can lock into, then it makes us lose trust and faith in what this team and coaching staff is doing. It drives me insane. Sorry, I'm going to shut up.
Yeah. No, that's you
talk that shit.
Talk. And see, this is why I want you to go ahead on the rant because maybe they'll listen to you, Murph. They'll listen to you because they don't want to listen to me when it comes to this. They hate when the truth is spilled. This was said in goddamn spring by multiple people, bro. If Chip Kelly is your offensive coordinator, what does Chip Kelly like to do? He likes to use multiple running backs. That's his thing. He just did it. Winning a national championship. He literally set the example in the press conference talking about Travion Henderson and Quinshawn. And, none of them really got 20 carries apiece. You know what I mean? But we was averaging almost, 150 on the ground. That's how he does things. So from spring, multiple people have said, hey, dog, if you're going to do that, you might as well go ahead and take you a lineman, get you a running back in the second round because the draft class is so deep, and we continue, right? If we're going to be chucking this motherfucking ball 40 times a game, you goddamn right I'd rather have drafted a tackle to secure the investment, which is Geno Smith, because that's how we win in fucking games. We can't run the ball, so we got to throw the shit. So we might as well have drafted a tackle to protect how we win games offensively, correct? But no, this is where we're at, right? And I understand. Like, the running game was putrid. So I understand why it's like, oh, dog, we got to get one. And then we just let go of an all-pro type of running back, and we saw him have a good year. We were scorned. We were mad, right? So it's like, oh, dog, we want one. But it's like a lot of us, like, and I know Murph was not in this crowd, but a lot of people that did want Genty were blinded to the fact that this man's position is hindered on 5 other grown-ass men. Like, regardless of how good of a running back you are, there's only one running back in the history of this game that it does not matter what 5 linemen he has, and his name is Barry Sanders. That's it. That is the only running back in the history of this game that it does not matter what his old lineman is. Everybody else, bro, you need them 5 other guys to be somewhat adequate. As a fan base, most of us knew these motherfuckers weren't. We only had 1 to 2 viable offensive linemen on this squad. Don't even get me started on 66, dog. I'm about to start a ticker like it's New Year's Eve for when Parham gets to leave for free agency. I'm literally about to start this ticker.
We were scratching our heads on that one when that came out.
I cannot take watching this man anymore, dog. He's been here for 4 years. We didn't transitioned him from position to position. He's still doing the same exact things. How many coaching staffs, how many positions does it take to understand this man's not good? DJ Glaze, if it wasn't for Parham and how Meredith has been playing, DJ Glaze, the spotlight to be on his ass too, because he ain't played well either. His ass been getting killed over there. And like Murph said, thank God Khalil Mack left that game, because he would have fucking put belt to ass on DJ
Oh,
Glaze
yeah.
over there. But
Oh, yeah.
but either way, bro, we knew this offensive line wasn't that great. We only got
No.
74 and 68. You feel what I'm saying? Those are the two right there where we're like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Or 58, my bad. Where we got something. You know what I mean? We got something. But like Murph said, bro, if you're gonna low manage him, if he can't pass protect all that well, if he's not going to play on third downs all the time, why in the hell would you draft him? This is it seems like now they're trying to be like, no, this is a position that this is going to work out over time. Maybe not this year. It's not going to start out this year, but in year 2, year 3, oh yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
See, that's what they're trying to sell us on. That's
Yeah,
exactly what it is.
and that's the thing. What happened to the win now? I'm gonna address this question from Walt. Shout out to Walt. Who's to blame? Is it Pete Carroll's son? No, you don't blame Pete Carroll's son.
I agree.
The whole line, yeah.
You blame
Yeah.
but you blame Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is a coach. Pete
him
Carroll
in.
is the guy who was the line. The buck stops with him at the end of the day. He's the one who makes those decisions. So if something's not working, he needs to go ahead and step in to make those changes, right? And we knew what Dylan Parham was. We knew what Dylan Parham was, and then I don't know what they saw, but they're seeing it now. And you know, you put your trust in Jordan Meredith, and you know he had some bad snaps this past game, and I'm not a whole lot impressed with them at center. But what's done is done.
Let me ask you this though, like, and because I never really got Murph's opinion on it either. What did you feel like when they're doing all this, when they're moving Meredith to the center and they got JPJ to the guard? Like, were you okay with that initially, or how's your feelings towards that?
Yeah, initially I was, and the reason why is I thought, okay, because what they told us was that Meredith put in all the work in the offseason, that he was doing a better job at recognizing what the coverages needed to be, what the pickups needed to be, and that he outperformed JPJ at center. Yeah. So instead of taking it as a they're moving JPJ to a different spot and they don't need to do that. Instead, I took it as, well, if Meredith earned it, well, then give it to him. Well, then if then I would rather side on the positive side of it, which here, if this guy's busting his ass in the offseason, well, then great. Well, then here, this game he turned into where he snapped the ball into his ass and he
bro.
Like, you know, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like, well, then maybe that we do need to go the other direction. And so, so I don't know if that was, we'll find out, but is that going to be short-lived or not? But no, I was supportive of it in the very beginning. I think what we are going to see though, and especially because I'm with you on Parham, we're going to see hopefully and because Cap is trash too. Hopefully we're gonna see an emergence of one of the two young men that we drafted in the third round. Hopefully it's probably gonna be Rodgers before it'll be Grant, but hopefully one of those guys gets up and running here so we can kind of see how that's because maybe then you do kick JPJ back into center and then
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yeah.
But we'll see where it goes. But I do want to, and you kicked off this conversation asking about Pete Carroll's son, and I do want to say that at first I kind of took it as like, okay, this is daddy ball, this is a nepotism move here, whatever. Which I'm not totally opposed to. All coaches do it.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't care about that.
Yeah. And you know, it's like they bring them along and they become coaches too. And I mean, look at the Harbaughs for crying out loud. I mean, they're all coaching families, like that happens. But that said, Pete Carroll's kid may be the offensive line coach, but who's the offensive assistant that's overseeing all this? It's Joe Philbin. That guy he defined his entire career coaching offensive lines. So it's not like Brennan Carroll is out there on an island just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Just looking around going, I don't know what I'm doing. No, he's got a guy that's, I mean, shit, I'm old and Joe Philbin is like 20 years older than me. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been in this league a long damn time. So it's not like there's inexperience in there is where this is coming from. So again, when they make these strategic moves, then that, you know, I trust it because they're the ones looking at him in practice and the ones that have been evaluating talent for all these years. Now, that said, if this continues to be a theme here that we're trying to figure it out what the best combination is, and we get into week 4, week 5, and we're still trying to figure that out, well, then we're just running out of talent at that point. Then it just becomes where it's just like, well, you just don't have anybody that you can put in there because you're just scrambling, trying to figure it out, piece it together.
Real quick, Murph, I ain't gonna lie, you just made a light bulb tick for me. remember a couple weeks ago when Pete sat there and said in the pressure that, man, it might take till week 8 till we figure out the O-line.
Yes,
He might have been dead
It'll
ass.
happen when it happens. It'll happen when it happens.
He might have been dead ass. He might have been serious, right? When he said
Oh,
that.
he was serious.
Because
That was the problem.
The way it looks, yeah, for sure. Murph, it's got so bad, and Jay has got so bad, bro. I've seen people rationalize to me, maybe Parham should move to center. He might be better. How many positions has Parham played on this offensive line until we just realize, you know what? He fucking sucks. He's trash. I can't take it anymore. He's trash.
Yeah.
Like, exactly what Murph said too. Kappa's not all that great. I'm really hoping that Caleb Rogers does something, but his ass was inactive for the first game. In the second game, I don't know. You know what I mean? So the snaps are the problem for me because I don't know. Maybe it was a thing, but I do know this, though. If you're all game having to do this and you're like that Roger Federer on a fucking tennis court trying to catch these snaps all the way, bro, like it's going to throw off your timing because you got to do this and then look at the rush and then look at the goddamn, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot. If they're just right here and you know they're going to be right here, you ain't got to look at it. And now I can look at my routes and look at everything I need to look at as far as the coverage and rush.
Right.
Meredith was throwing it off all night, bro. I mean, Gino was having to reach all over the place, dog, for these snaps. So if that's a thing and that continues, because this is everybody has to understand, Meredith has never played center. We not talking about, he played it in high school or he played it in college and he's getting back. He's never, ever played center. So we're learning on the job against NFL competition. So this is probably what is going to reoccur. We just got to hope by like week 6, week 4, really, that this is not no problem, bro. Like, because if it continues, you got to put JPJ where he's supposed to be. Let's just be real, dog.
And making moves, at that point, it's a gamble, and it could either work out really, really good, or it could shit the bed really bad and be like the worst mistake ever. So you're really running that risk. This is the thing, and I'm sorry if I'm sounding like I'm picking on Pete this morning, and maybe I should. Maybe it's time to go ahead and hold a little bit of accountability. Pete put some promises at the beginning of this offseason. He said, especially when he got here, we're going to go ahead and run the ball. We're going to protect the quarterback, and we're going to go ahead and be physical, right? We have failed to do all three. We have not been able to protect the quarterback. Gino's been getting sacked like crazy. I think it's like 6 sacks or 7 sacks between the last 2 games. We haven't been able to run the ball. I think we're under like 100 yards or just over 100 yards rushing in 2 games. It's horrible. And we haven't really been physical, in those trenches. If Murph just pointed out, we're like negative 0.1 or negative 1 yard or something like that. Behind, yes, it's terrible. So this is the thing. We got to start holding accountability. I'm starting to take some of the stuff that they're feeding us with a grain of salt because it's not being real. It's not being real. Like, let's just keep it a bean. If you guys are still trying to figure out the offensive line, all right, cool. But don't try to sell us like, hey, we got to preserve Janty and we got to do this or that. We know what he does. We know what you do. Just like Marv said, we're going to focus on the next game. We're going to go ahead and work with the offensive line guys. We're going to get everything. We're working on it. We're getting everything back to or get it to where we needed to be. That's it. And just keep working it. But also know where your weaknesses are and address those. Don't just be like, okay, we're going to keep doing it. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you do have to kind of call out Pete a little bit. You want to know why too? There's another reason, a big second round reason why we should be calling out Pete. Where the hell is our second round pick at? Where is he?
Catch.
Yes.
1 catch.
Come on, like, are we tripping here? I'm looking around.
He's over there by the water. He's over there getting the Gatorades.
Bro, I refuse to believe that Alex Bachman is better than the man you just picked in the second round, dog. I refuse to believe it. So something else is going on here. Does this man not know his playbook? Does he not know the plays? Because if that's the case, whose fault is that? Right? That you done pick somebody now, all of a sudden this man don't know what he's supposed to be doing. Week 2, 3? Like, bro, like that's another reason we got to call out Pete. There's how many of our draft picks are playing? Let's just be real. How many of them are playing?
Yeah.
Two, maybe. Like Thornton and Genty, and who else? Who else is Porter's not on the field? You know what I'm saying? He's not seeing grass.
No,
we knew what's his name. Grant wasn't going to play. We knew what time it was there.
Yeah. Rogers not playing. Pegues is not playing.
Both of them DTs was
not
inactive.
Not playing yet. Yeah.
Both of them DTs was inactive. Yeah. So it's like, goddamn, who's making the contributions? Where are we? What's
I
happening?
heard a little rumor on that part. I heard a little rumor that supposedly Chip is punishing Jack for kind of holding out on the contract yet. Now, I doubt that's true, but there's kind of the rumor mill out there that it's kind of a little payback for like having them kind of drag it out through the limelight. But and it wasn't even his fault. It was a whole collective as a whole. All the second rounds were holding out, you know, except for like 2 guys that got their deals that started this whole crazy mess anyway. But it's fact. Where the hell is Besh? He's a Jacoby replacement according to everybody. So where is he?
You know, it's somebody in there in the chat room said that it feels like Chip and Pete aren't on the same page, and I would agree with that. And I don't know to what extent yet. I don't think any of us do. We'll certainly find out as this thing continues to unfold. But it just seems like the expectation of the play, because you called it, man. Like, what are we doing with all these draft picks that we invested in offensively and even defensively, but mostly offensively? Where are they? And to not have them be utilized at any facet is just very odd. It's just it doesn't make a lot of sense, because then you go to the defensive side of the ball, and when we look at that, there's very much those 2 guys are on the same page. Pete and Graham are in lockstep seemingly. When you look at, because Pete is all about, Pete's like that old school Al Davis mentality when it comes to playing defense. Let your front 4 get there, do their job, you know, play physical on the back end, big, you know, DBs, you know, a lot of speed. Like that's Al Davis and Pete Carroll themes on defense. Patrick Graham's opposite. He's 0 blitz. Send the house. Like we'll figure it out later in the secondary. Just send 7 guys in there. You know what I'm saying? Like let's just do that's it. Now what have we seen? We've seen a balance between these 2 guys. We're kind of seeing both. We're kind of seeing, and it's working. I mean, as bad as Monday night was, we still held that high-powered ass offense to 20 points. Like that's huge. Like that is a really good defensive effort. I mean, shit, man. Like, so that's good enough. That should be good enough.
Oh man, what?
Beat the Chargers, to at least certainly compete with them towards at the end of the game, but it wasn't because of the ineptitude on offense. So I'm with you. There's something that's not there, and we may not ever know. And like, well, at least not till after the season's over. But you think about it, like a lot of times when we see the things and we see, you know, ripples in the coaching staffs, whatever, sometimes it takes 2-3 years. And sometimes it's even after these guys are gone before the real story comes out. That's why I always say, like, you know, Bible always says, guard your heart, right? Because above all else. And so I'm always like, I'm a little skeptical, like when you hear rumors like about that and stuff. And I'm not dismissing that one rumor about punishing Besh, whatever. But like, I'm very dismissive around what fan speculation is, because the real stories won't come out until 2-3 years from now. One will really know what's going on based on the level of success or lack thereof that the coaching staff has. So, because again, we're seeing it 2 polar opposites right now. We're seeing it go very well on defense with Pete and PG, and then we're seeing it mixed results at best when it comes to Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll.
That's 100% right. I mean, you hit it right on the head. When you look at and notice all the negative we spoke, none of it has been on the defensive side. None of it. To be honest with you, everything we talked about negatively or anything that's got us questioning things, it's all offensively. And sadly, that's where the money's at. That's where the investments are at. You're supposed to be 100% better than what they are. Going into the season, I don't know about y'all, but me, I'm like, all right, this defense is going to be Swiss cheese. You know what I mean? Like we're going to have to try to pin our ears back, get to the quarterback for sure. We'll be good against the run, but we're going to get torn apart in the past. It ain't been the case, bro. 3 points in both halves of both of these games that we've played with. It's only been 6 points combined by both teams, right? That we've had in the second half. That is well enough good to win games. You got to, if you're holding teams to 20 or 13 points, you goddamn right, you got to win games. Because this offense definitely is better, is good enough to score over 20 points. It is.
Yeah.
And if we don't, then then the blame, now we start shifting blame all around on the offensive side. Because it's like now we back to a couple years ago where we squandering good defensive performances with an offense that should be better than it is. Right now, we back to square fucking one again. So that's what I'm hoping it's not, and I'm really hoping it's not that case. I think the offense will get its shit together. Cause we got better guys in the room, like y'all been saying. So hopefully they will get it together.
Can I? Yeah. I want to address real quick here.
Sure.
Let's see. Is David in there in the chat? Says you guys should be criticizing the defense, allowing a tight end to gain 124 yards is catastrophic. Listen, here's how I feel about this kind of stuff, and this is where this is when anytime anybody throws around stats, and I'm just not taking a shot at you, David. I just want to make a counterpoint that anytime you're looking at stats, I don't care what the yards are. I don't care. What is the score? Yeah. What's the score? What is it? That to me is what's important. You can do whatever the hell you want in between the 20s. What do you do in the red zone? What do you do defensively in the red? What do you do offensively in the red zone? That to me is what counts. You can have a quarterback go out there and throw 3 touchdowns and an interception, and it looks great on the stat sheet. But if that interception was a pick 6 when you were down a score in the red zone, well, then guess what? Well, then that's a shit performance because that's a horrible decision that cost you a football game. Ask Gardner Minshew and Patrick Surtain. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was there.
I'm sorry. That was awful. You know what I mean? But that's my thing. So allowing yardage and all that kind of stuff, that doesn't matter. What do they do when it counts most? And that's another thing that's a hallmark of Pete's defenses is that they tighten up when they get in the red zone. And you guys calling it out there, 3 points allowed in 2 second halves. That's dominant. And especially considering against one of those teams is one of the most high-powered offenses in the league so far. So that's really encouraging, especially going into this year. We thought it was going to be the exact opposite. We thought the defense was going to be shit. I'm with you. Run down. I thought I'm like, okay, like we're going to have to really hope that, Devin White and Landon Roberts and these guys. And sure enough, they're showing up, man. They're playing fantastic. Booker is doing great in the middle. Obviously, Max is Max. Kuntz needs to get loose, I think. But like this defense is doing its job. They are being disruptive at the point of attack and not depending on our young DBs to cover out there for 6 seconds. You know what I mean? Running their ass off. So the defense is doing it. So I'm fine with whatever the numbers are as long as the scoreboard is reflective of something positive for said defense.
And let's be real. Like, I mean, even on Monday, we looked, I'm like, okay, Lad McConkey about to have goddamn 150, 200 yards. It's about to get nasty. He only had like 60 yards. You know what I mean? He only had 60 yards.
Kept
and
realistically,
when you look at the whole game, I think the only way the game got blown open was when we let that wide ass open touchdown to Quentin Johnston. Until that, we were straight. You know what I mean? And after that, we didn't give up anything. It was just that. We gave up that touchdown. But teams can't run the ball, right? They cannot run the ball at all. We didn't face 2 good rookie running backs already, Travion Henderson, and we faced Omarion Hampton. They can't run the ball. We have to be paying off these defensive performances. Now, there are a couple guys on the defense where we can, like, zero in on and be like, you got to kind of play better. I ain't going to lie. But as a whole, though, like, they're the surprise of the whole thing because I thought it was going to be flipped where we're going to have to win these games 30-something to 20-something, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, here we go. But if we're going to get these performances, bro, no doubt, if these defensive performances continue throughout the year, the offense has to get better because if they do, we can definitely make a wild card. I ain't going to lie about that. We can definitely do that.
Well, especially on the games that we got coming up. We got Jayden is down this week. I mean, they're already down Eckler. They're already down Dedrick Wise. Like, They've got a 7th round. I forget the guy's even his name. They got a 7th round rookie is going to be the running back, and Marcus Mariota going. I mean, it's like if there's a get right game for us. I know that defensively they've much improved versus last year, but like should be a really good opportunity for the Raiders to go back to the East Coast and win another game. And then our schedule pretty much lightens up for the next 4 or 5 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. If they can get this thing figured out before the halfway point of this season, we should be in line for a wild card and pressing for, 2nd place in the division, and I think Kansas City's going to beat the Giants obviously this weekend, but man, they play good teams. They look pretty good.
You never know though, man. I mean, because the Giants got that pass rush. They got that pass rush.
And they got Russ.
And then the Chiefs O-line
neighbors,
There you go. So, and this is the thing, man. These are one of these games this week. And I know we got to get ready to end it off, but these are one of these games this week where we can't look in November and be like, God damn it, we lost to Marcus Mariota in fucking September, and if we would have won that, you know what I mean? Like, bro, it happens every year.
Yeah.
We look every year, dog. We look last year, Andy Dalton. There's a fucking list on Twitter. It goes back to 2018 to the backup quarterbacks we have lost to. Dog, 2018, and this is consistent all the way through this year. 2025 cannot be another addition to that, dog. We got to be looking at this game. Look at the Bears. The Bears are struggling. The Bears aren't good right now. That's another game. The Titans, like, they're formidable, but that's a game we should win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, these are the games right here where I will know that the regime is different, where the regime is, and we're really in a different direction, and because we got to take care of business this week.
If we don't win a significant amount of these upcoming games prior to the midway point, it's going to be another 4-win year.
It's cooked. Yeah, we're cooked.
Yeah. We're done. I mean, we've got to get ahead of it, because you're right. Like, obviously the Titans are improved, and like you mentioned some of these other teams, but they're far from great. You know what I'm saying? They're like, and so if they're Patriot level talent that we're going up against every week, well, then we should be winning these games. And if the coaching staff is if they truly are in win now mode, well, these are the types of games that you should win, so, because, man, it's only going to get uglier. It's only going to get uglier.
You can't afford it in the division, dog. Like, if the Broncos win, but whatever, they're 2-1. The Chiefs are 2-1. Like you said, if the Chiefs win, they're 1-2. Dog, we lose, we're 1-2, right tied with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Here we go. You know what I'm saying? Here the fuck we go again. Now all of a sudden we got to fight for 3rd fucking place in the division again. So it's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Again, appreciate everyone pulling up and tapping in with us on this Saturday morning. Let me go ahead and kind of shift over, since we're already talking about the schedule ahead. Let's go ahead and go into week 3 preview versus the Commander. I forgot to change that. My bad. But let me go ahead and pull up this injury report. This is the injury report that was put out as of yesterday. And I think this is a big thing here. Jayden Daniels is going to be out for this game. A lot of Washington players are out. You got Noah Brown's out. They got their tight end, Bates is out. You got Von Miller. I doubt he plays. Debo, I don't know if he's going to play. And that's what me and Murph were talking about earlier.
He might not
backstage. Play. He might. I don't know. It says here, because he has NIR personal, and then he's not listed Wednesday. He didn't practice on Thursday, and now listed on Friday. So we don't know. We don't know if he's actually going to play or not. So we don't know if it's a mind game or if he's really not going to play. That'd be crazy if he doesn't play.
Maybe.
But but the biggest thing I think here is that Jayden Daniels is out, and now we got Mariota that we have to go ahead and contend with, as opposed to going up against JD5. But let me ask you guys this. Do you think we're going to have a better performance from the O-line, and will Gentry have more touches in this game?
I mean, they can't get any worse. You know what I mean? I hate to be that guy, but I mean, it's so funny, because their pass protection, when you look at that list, they were listed as like 6,
12. Yeah, we're like 12.
Yeah, and 6th in overall performance last year in terms of pass protection for last week. And I'm like, But when you look at the run game, it's like the complete opposite of that. So, but anyways, yeah, I think it definitely will get improved. Yes, I definitely think that they're going to run. You have to, again, and I say this all the time too. You know, the NFL is loaded with dynamic offenses nowadays. But what wins on the road and what wins late in the season and what wins in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl? You play good defense. You run the shit out of the football. You don't turn the ball over. You convert on third downs. You take the ball away when you're on defense. Like there are something. Look at the Eagles. There's all you need to see. Like that's how championship teams are built. And it's true as much as this league has changed and as much as we have players out there that can be highlight reels and all that stuff, those things still remain the same. So yes, the Raiders have to go out there and run the football and control the clock with Ashton Genty in order to bring home a W. They have to do that because the defense, as we know, is likely going to play good enough to keep them in contention to win this football game. So offensively, they've got to do their job. And the last thing I'll say is this, and I got to run here in a minute, but I got to say this. There's a lot of times as Raider fans, and this is a fan thing. This isn't a team thing, but this is a fan thing, but we gotta exercise some demons, right? And so playing in the early time slot on the East Coast was one of them. That was one that we typically didn't do very well at. We haven't been the kings of Monday Night Football for a very, very long time. That's something we've got to get figured out. Well, already we've got one East Coast win. Here's a chance to do it again. And if they do that again, that restores a lot of faith in my fandom of this football team, my love for this football team, of where this season can go. Because the last time that we went to Washington in week 3, it's September 24th, 2017. This is coming off of a game where we go to Tennessee. We are in Oakland. We beat the hell out of the Jets. Marshawn's dancing on the sideline. We're riding high with a healthy Derek Carr going, it's on, baby. Here we go. And then that debacle happened on Sunday Night Football, and the Washington then Redskins beat the ever-loving shit out of us. And the 2017 season went down the toilet to the point to where Jack Del Rio announced his own firing at a press conference outside of the soccer stadium before he ever even got to the plane. That season was a disaster. That's the kind of shit that lives in these Raider brains. So Raiders, so 2025 Raiders, I know that has nothing to do with you. That's our thing. But that's the kind of shit we got to see this team do that make us believe that it can finally be different. We can all root 100%. For it. We can all hope for it, but make us believe, Raiders.
100%. 100%. That was beautifully said, man. And before you get out of here, man, again, we appreciate you for tapping in with us, man. Showing up to the show. I definitely would love to get you on a solo show. I know you're busy.
Yes, sir.
Same. I definitely we can go ahead and schedule it out, but definitely would love to get you on the show again, brother.
Absolutely, man. I love it. This was a lot of fun chopping it up with you guys. Yeah, anytime. Yeah, I got a lot going on, but man, anytime I got time to do it, I'd love to.
Okay. For sure. We can definitely do that, man. Everybody, if you're not already, either subscribe, follow him on Twitter. Everybody, you know the deal, man. We are we show love around here. So make sure you guys show love to Murf's podcast, show love to Murf's show, and show love to his Twitter as well, man. We will put the link in the chat for everybody as well.
Yeah. We have their link pinned down in the description below as well. So make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe on Raiders Fan Radio. Make sure you guys go ahead and tap into them. And it's just not just Murph. We got 2 other people that also do it with us. So for sure.
We just like to say that we're 3 knuckleheads who like to talk about our favorite football team in my basement. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. And I appreciate all the love there and support there, Raiders Fan Radio. And I want to shout out an old school podcaster, man, who was doing this thing a long time ago, right around the time that we started up and running. It was the Pillaging Podcast, and Kenny Stapler used to say, a rising tide raises all ships. There are so much room in this Raider fan-created content space. There is so much trash in mainstream media and sports media when it comes to coverage of our football team. So it's so important for what we do as fans to get the message of the Raiders out there, to get a real take, because I promise you, anybody that's watching this show, you know more about the Raiders than Ryan fucking Clark. I promise you. So it's really important for us all. It's really important for us all to keep all these things going, man. And that's one of the beautiful things about Raider Nation. It truly is family. All right, I'm going to shut up. I got to go to homecoming. Love you guys. Thank you so much again for having me.
Much love to you, man.
Appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate you pulling up, Murph. You have a good one, man. Salute to you. All right. So let's go ahead and just kind of start capping this thing off real quick. We went over. I mean, JPJ is supposed to be back versus the Commanders, so
yeah,
we'll see him. Now, do you think we're gonna go ahead and see him under guard, or is that gonna still continue to be Kappa?
It's probably guard. He's probably gonna be a guard. But I do want to say this though, you know, because we're gonna end it out here. But another reason why I'm just kind of worried, dog. We sit at 12th, right, for pass protection, and we sit like sixth the last week. But the numbers dramatically decrease in the run game. Dog, the run game ain't nothing but will and want to be honest with you. The run game ain't nothing but moving another grown man against his will. I mean, that's just real. It just comes with physicality, and the run game comes with mindset. It worries me that when our physicality has to get ramped up, we start fading or we start tucking tail. But you know what I mean? Like, because in the run game, bro, like that, you supposed to, that's where the physicality is supposed to show up. That's where your mentality is supposed to show up. The dogs. You know what I mean? It's like in the trenches, I don't see that. I see one, you know what I mean? He was out last week, and that's why I'm glad he's back. You know, JPJ gives us that teeth. But it's like we have to find more physicality, bro. We have to find more physicality in the run game because right now it's not there.
Yeah, for sure. Let me go ahead and move on to this next segment, keys to victory. These are going to be what we think are going to be the keys to victory to go ahead and get the dub for tomorrow. For me, obviously, offensively, we need to go ahead and create those gaps, those running lanes for Genty. I think, without being said, Genty just needs to get way more touches than 11 carries.
Oh yeah,
for sure, 100%. Hopefully, we get Jack Besh involved, and finally, we get to go ahead and see him. I don't know how Brock is gonna be a factor in this game. He is going to play tomorrow.
Against tight ends, bro. They're not really good against tight ends.
Yeah, but he's hurt. That's the thing. We saw on Monday he was hurt. It wasn't the same Brock.
Yep.
So I don't know how much of a factor he's going to be out there. If he's going to be out there as a decoy, but because he's not creating that yak, and that's what he's really known for. And with that bum knee, it's going to be hard.
This is where my issue is too, because I just talked to the Commanders dude yesterday. Their run game is nice. Their run game ain't like, you know what I mean? They have guys in the front seven. Bobby Wagner's good against the run. Frankie Louvu's good against the run. He's been having a shaky year, but you know, they got Kinlaw, they got Deron Payne, they got a number of guys that are good against the run, dog. It's gonna be another physical game. It's gonna be another, and I want to see if our linemen tuck tail again, dog, because that's what it's gonna take.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at Severe over here hating. Stop hating, man. All you do is hate. Stop it.
Shout out to that guy Severe. Oh man. Same. I think we're probably gonna see obviously continuation of Jacoby being out there, being a guy to kind of move along these drives, and hopefully Gino can get his shit together and not try to hit the home run ball every fucking snap. I think that's a big thing. Defensively, we got to continue doing the same thing we've been doing, just being aggressive. Those trenches have to be aggressive. Those front four, continuing to go ahead and blitz and creating turnovers. I think we only had like two turnovers last game. We had a better turnover ratio week one versus the Patriots. Obviously, different game, different team. But I think we need to go ahead and continue with that. Linebackers need to go ahead and continue to eat. And if we continue to hold teams to 20 points or less, I think we have a really good shot of winning on Sunday for sure. On the offensively, we definitely need to go ahead and break 20. I think this is a game that we need to go ahead and start coming out. It could definitely happen, especially with the amount of injuries that I just put out earlier. It definitely could happen. But it is a little bit of a tall order that we have coming up on Sunday. I think it's more of a mental than it is the physical part.
For sure.
Just having that L from Monday. But shout out to just another DJ. He says those linemen just want to play patty cake all game. They don't want to get nasty and break someone else's will.
That's
Facts,
real.
brother.
That's real.
Facts.
And
Yeah.
that's exactly my problem. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. What are your keys to victory?
Well, we got to stop the run because they're going to want to run the ball. There's going to be a lot of misdirection going on, so we got to get to Mariota, bro. We got to get in his face. When we get in his face, bro, he's bad, inaccurate, and when he starts, like when he's clean, like yeah, he's good. But you know, especially if you get him running around, he'll make a dumbass decision or something like that. So you can get him like that. Don't allow him to kill us with his legs, of course. Offensively, bro, like yeah, I think we're going to again. This is going to suck, but we're going to have to put the ball in the air. Their corners are okay. You know what I mean? Trey Amos is pretty nice. Their corners are all right, but they're like we have better matchups. We have good matchups for their corners, so that could work. Obviously, we everybody saw what Tucker Kraft did in Green Bay. You know what I mean? So now, if Tucker Kraft is going to do that, and then I guess they struggled the first week against tight ends too. Look, if that's the case, bro. Brock Bowers, I think they saved him last week to eat, so he'll be the factor this week, man. I mean, we could try to get Genty going for sure, but this is another good D line this week, so it's probably going to be tough.
It's going to be tough, yeah. So, as far as offensive line, I don't really see them doing any adjustments, any changes to that line as outside of Brock Bowers. I'm sorry, outside of JPJ.
Right.
That's it. Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I hope. Yeah. Ideally, if it was me, I would take Parham out, plug JPJ left, and then keep Kappa there. Fuck it, whatever. You know.
Now we might be able to. Now I see David Clark. You know, I see you say, you know, yeah, Green Bay is Green Bay, but Tucker Kraft ain't Brock Bowers. So good luck tomorrow. I'll tell you that right now. If Brock Bowers is good, you feel what I'm saying, and he's 100%, and y'all not trying to double team him, good luck. But I will say, you know. This maybe next week we'll be able to run the ball a little bit better. Week 5, you prepare for another tough one because that's another good D line. Like, bro, like I think people don't understand or are not really looking at these D lines that we're playing. These ain't no fluff ass D lines, dog. Like these are physical, big D lines that we are going to play. And right now we got motherfuckers that's soft as cotton on the offensive line. I guarantee you, y'all think I'm lying. Javon Kinlaw. Deron Payne, shit. What severe? What you say all the time, dog? Sitting rubbing they shit like Birdman. They watching that film and they see 66 on there, and I guarantee you tomorrow, Deron Payne ass gonna line right up. He gonna line right up in front. Yep, I'm with you. He gonna line right up in front of Dylan Parham tomorrow. That's what's gonna happen. He gonna test that gangster. That's what Deron Payne 100%. Gonna test that gangster. So we will see.
Yeah. Hopefully Parham doesn't get his ass wrong, dog, which I don't know. I ain't betting on Parham, dog.
All right, well, you ain't been watching. My pass coverage, they're not like, you know, they're not rushing the passer, but as far as stopping the running back, stopping the run game, that's what they nice at that. They are kind of nice at that.
Yeah, for sure. Let me go ahead and move on to score prediction. So everybody in the chat, go ahead and put down your score prediction for tomorrow's game. We're going to go ahead and sound off on ours. So tomorrow, I think it's, again, another close game. I don't really see this being any further than maybe 3 points again. I probably say 21-17 or 20-17. I don't really see us breaking more than 21. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. Though that's what we need to do. But realistically, the outcome, I don't see that happening. I think it's going to be another close game. So it's probably be like 20-17 Raiders. We have the better chance of getting the dub tomorrow because of no Jayden Daniels, no Noah Brown. I don't even know if Debo's going to play. I don't know what that meant on that injury report. So he may or may not play. I haven't heard anything otherwise. But for me, it'll probably be 20-17.
Yeah, I'm looking like 21-13. 21-13. So yeah, I'm looking somewhere around kind of like the Patriots score.
Yeah. David Clark says 17-21 Commanders.
He's a Commanders fan, but I appreciate him for
It's all right. It's all good. Hey, he kept it close. That's a pretty close game, bro. That's what's up.
I appreciate it.
Dre Rochelle, 24-15 Raiders. Anthony 17-7 Raiders. SoCal 20-9. Okay, he was like, "Fuck it, we're gonna
flip it around, huh?
We're gonna flip it around." All right, cool. Like that. Larry Osborne says 17-10 Raiders. There you go. That's what's up. But
I like it, man. We all realistic in here, man. I like it.
Yeah, so 21-17 Commanders. There you go. That's what's up. Yeah, but
Dixon said, "Fuck it, I'm full force burning the ship down." I know what Dixon doing though. I know what Dixon doing.
Yeah,
he's trying to get his expectations not that high. Where he's like, all right,
he's trying to soften the blow, bro.
Yeah, bro. He's just gonna be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go ahead and say the worst possibility now.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man. So I hope we pull out the dough. And if we do we go up 2-1 and we're in a better position. Obviously, I think the following game is Tennessee. My bad. The Bears.
No,
it's Bears. Bears. Right. Yeah, Bears.
They're not playing. That's what I'm saying, bro. We talked about. They're not playing well. We'll see how they look, but I think they're gonna lose tomorrow because they play Dallas, and I think they'll lose to Dallas.
What's your record? Are they
Bears?
1-2? Or 0-2?
Wait, I think they're 0-2, bro. They're 0-2. They can be 0-3 going into it. 0-3 going into our game, and they haven't played well. But look, here you go.
They are 0-2. They are 0-2.
Damn, bro, they could be 0-3. I got money on that already. I already think they're gonna lose tomorrow. But I think they're gonna be 0-3. So now you got that. They're struggling.
Yeah.
And the Titans, they're scrappy. The Titans are scrappy, but they're like the Patriots. They're not they don't have that much talent. That's the whole thing. So you should be able to beat their ass too. We got to handle business week by week.
But it's going to be a week by week thing for sure. That Colts game is going to be interesting as well.
That's the one that you got to look at. And it's like, if these motherfuckers keep playing well, then you're going to have a game on your hands. But we can't even say that, and we can't even be confident in all that because we got to handle our own goddamn business first. That's the whole thing.
Yes, sir. That's what's up. But we appreciate everyone pulling up and tapping in with us on this Saturday morning. As usual, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button on both of these channels, especially if you're not subscribed. What are y'all waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. Appreciate everyone tapping in with us on this beautiful Saturday morning. Hopefully it's a beautiful Saturday morning wherever y'all be at. But make sure you guys go ahead and pull up next Saturday. Y'all already know what time it is. Same bad time, same bad channels. We're going to do the damn thing. We're going to run it back. Good Morning Raiders, 10 a.m. Pacific next Saturday. Make sure you guys go ahead and pull up for that one. It's going to be another hot one. We're going to definitely be previewing that Bears game. It's more personal for Rundown. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got family that's Bears fans, dog, all the extra, man. So it's going to be real.
Yeah, there you go. That's what's up. So we gonna get in the nitty gritty for sure next Saturday as well. But
David, funny as hell. He said, "No way, our kicker scores 3 field goals. That's why we go for it on 4th down." He tapping in 7:30 at night over there across the pond, man. He's across the pond. So appreciate you, man.
Hey, there you go, man. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. So that is our time for today. Make sure, again, you guys pull up next Saturday for Good Morning Raiders. Until then, nation, remember, just Raiders, baby. We'll see you guys next time.
Yes, sir.
Peace.